Hey there, welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping in. It's always good to see you, Hobie Gal. And I bet it's cold where you are. I was just watching the Buffalo game. On the first half of the game. Man, they're playing in a blizzard. It's hard to tear yourself away. Those are my favorite. I can always record it for later. Those are my favorite football games when they're playing in the really bad weather. Somehow it's very evocative of, I don't know. And that's one thing that's special about football is I don't think they ever call it for the weather. They will call football games for lightning, but not for just regular old snow blizzard effects. But if lightning's in the area, they will call a football game. That happened last year. Anyway, hey, Diet Coke. Oof. Sorry, I just have to. I was so thirsty. I went. I didn't even introduce the drink of the day. It's a frosty can of Diet Coke on ice. Good. It's all right. It's about normal. 32. Oh, that's not good. So typically that means you're relying on electric heaters, room heaters, and not so not all rooms are habitable. But yeah, so that's what happened at work. They switched the work heater and the heater at the office at work, and it wasn't working for a few days, so they gave us these box room heaters, which kind of worked. But yeah, I mean that's you kind of have to, as long as hopefully the electricity doesn't go out. But yeah, it's always bad timing to go for the furnace to go. My furnace is working okay. I keep it pretty cool in here so I can be comfortable. My little coat, keep it like 64. It's not super high. All right, so we're going to be flying around. What are we going to do today? We're going to fly around. I'm back in 2020. I'll talk about that in a second. Hold on a second here. Going to fly around a bit. I don't know exactly where we're going to go. 125 years old. Wow. Wow, 125 years old. So built in the year 1900. I'm thinking. I'm trying to do a little math in my head. And that's a relatively easy math problem. But yeah, that's super bad. Yeah, that's the thing about here in the West Coast is the old houses are like from 1950. There are a lot of older houses in Southern California, but we don't get that quite that old. There probably are. There's definitely early 1900s in Pasadena, Southern California. There are old houses all over, but yeah, Southern California, mainly newer. Let's see. So we're gonna fly around. There's gonna be a big brain games segment. That's gonna be me playing the Wordle, the Turtle, the Quirtle, the Reveal, the Tightrope trivia. It's Sunday, the hardest trivia day. I'm looking forward to getting my ass kicked on the trivia quiz today. Yeah, there'll be a short break, and guess what? Today is live rehearsal number 2 of Ken's Christmas Piano Lounge. I'm gonna take the Christmas Bake Book, which is sitting over there in the cabinet, slap it down in front of my piano, which is going to take me a little while to get set up, and play. It's a roughly 50-minute set of about 30 songs, a Christmas holiday classic tunes, sort of done in a jazzy way. I look forward to it every year, and we do that until of course the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day shows, and then we switch back to the regular piano lounge because I got to keep those. I have those memorized. I got to keep playing on the phone, keep them memorized. All right, so let's talk about the simulation today. We are back on 2020. Yesterday, I wasn't 100% satisfied with the show because I felt like I wanted another chance to cold start the C47. So I tried it offline. I think I got to work. I mean, I just want to like show people because it's one of the things I really like to do. The other thing I noticed that I haven't checked out is that the Orbix add-on Cape Town, which I paid money for. It was available in 2020 and 24. In other words, I paid for it once, but I get to download it on 2020 as well. That's from Orbix, the same people who do the the Jurassic Park content. They do a lot of cool content, obviously, but I never had downloaded it for 2020. And when we did play with this content, we did mess with this content in 2024. It was quite difficult. Due to stuttering, and it just seemed like it was too much content but so that's why I'm curious to see if 2020 handles it better. All right, but we're going to cold start it. We're going to start at the defunct airbase. Can I change the time? It's 9:30 there. We're going to change the time to about, a little later in the day. It's summer there, so it's late. It's light much later. and it's beautiful weather there. Okay, so we're going to start at the right. We're going to cold start. This time, I believe I have the cold start procedure down correctly, and if not, in any case, we're going to refer to the checklist. But so you know, in the worst case, this may end up being a very it's about 4 gigabytes of data. The update, just the Cape Town Orbux update, which includes, you know, bought buildings, skyscrapers, a lot of outlying areas, terrain improvements, and then I have a separate add-on for the Cape Town Airport. But this is the Cape Town area. Anyway, you know, so this will be the first time I'm trying it. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see if we can successfully cold start. I mean, I know we can because but I didn't, you know, last time it's fun because you get like a burst of, you get some smoke coming out from back there. It's this really cool plane from the 30s. It's based on the military version of the DC-3. So it got all sorts of stuff there, cargo door, beautiful plane. Let's get in and try to get her started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is ground power. Let's see. We want to go. Let's see. That all looks good. That looks good. Okay, we want to put right fuel selector on right main tank, left selector on left main tank. Okay, we got to check these. This goes all the way up there. That goes all the way up there, and this is correct. That's the throttle. I've got my throttle body there. Nothing down here needs to be messed with. There's our radio. Nothing here needs to be messed with. Yeah, okay. So now we're ready to start. But what we want to do is first you're going to turn your inverter on. We're going to turn both the booster pumps on because we're going to need them until we get into flight, until we get into stable flight. I want to make sure this is on and turn both magnetos on. Yeah, we can do that right now. I mean, technically you might be waiting. What are these for, by the way? ADF frequency, ADF radio power. Probably turn that on. All right. Let's see here. Okay, landing lights. All right, we don't turn the battery on yet. Beacon lights on. Well, let's turn those off. Let's see. So what's the next thing? Okay, yeah, let me check the checklist again. It's right here. It's a little tricky. Okay, before starting engine, fuel booster pumps on, right? Master ignition on, magnetos on, starter, wait 2 seconds, mesh, wait 2 seconds. Then you turn the right engine primer on. All right, let's see if that works. We're going to try to start the right engine. So we're going to energize the starboard or the right thing. We hold that for 2 seconds, 1/1000, 2 seconds. And then we hold this on for 2 seconds, 1/1000, 2 seconds. And then we turn the right primer on. And we're going to see, we should see some smoke coming out of there. Oh, we didn't. Wow. Wait a minute. Smoke. Oh, there's something I'm not sure I did, though. Okay, I think we've got startup on that engine. I want to check the... these things here. Cowl flap control should be open for both of these, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Yeah, it did start up. Okay, we got one engine going. Last time I had some problems starting these engines, and yeah, I believe I'm doing the correct. I didn't do it correctly last time. So for this one, what we're gonna do is, let's see, energize the left engine. Hold that for 2 seconds. On 2000. Then mesh starter, hold that for 2 seconds, and the left primer on. Let's see if that catches. Yeah, there's a little weird delay there. But if you do in the right order, it will catch. And you get like some smoke coming, you get your oil smoke coming out there. And you see the cowl flaps are open. It's on automatic, I believe, or they're on open, which we leave until flight. All right, this time I was able to start up. All right, so now that we have power, we can turn off the ground power, turn on our battery. Passing light, nav lights. Let's see, we probably don't need any of this because it's a warm day out. Okay, those can stay off. Booster pumps stay on until after the takeoff phase. I believe we have radio, right? We're on Easterplatte. We're going to head south to Cape Town, so we might as well let them know.
Easterplatte ground KENSH 999 ready to taxi
Here's
south
your dude.
departure.
There is a really complicated and realistic autopilot system. We're not going to need it. I'm not going to try to mess with it. I've never got it to work anyway. But yeah, we're running. Okay. Knowledge taxi clearance. Beautiful plane though. All right. Hope it looks like a nice day. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of this little parking area here. That's what it looks like from here. There's not a great view from this plane. But anyway, my goal is just to fly over. We're gonna do a quick flyover. There's another plane that recently got updated. It's one of my favorites. It's a much smaller plane. It's a really cool one. We might fly it around here as well. The other thing is I want to go into 2024 at some point and check the conditions at the ranch, but we can do that tomorrow, I think, because I'm sure it's quite snowed over in there. It wasn't snowed over, but it was kind of very brown as opposed to the normal green. And I mean, there was snow in the hills, but not on the plane. And I think there would be. Okay, just gonna slow our way down here. Keep her on track here. Don't want to get too fast. Looks like we're heading to the base of the runway here. A little bit less power. Right? Where do we have to go? It's hard to say. I feel like we're in the middle of the runway here. Can our quest take off clearance from here? No. Okay, good. Okay, once it's going to the end of the runway and turn around, let's do that. Hey, Charles, how you doing? Gonna fly around. This is, believe it or not, we're flying around Cape Town. We're gonna fly over Mistress Moore's house. Yes. Hello? We're gonna fly over. I don't really know exactly where she lives, but I know the general area that she lives in. Because she lives northwest of the airport. But we're also gonna fly around Cape Town, too. I don't know if you've seen, I've done this, we've flown over this area a million times, but not in 2020 using the upgraded Orbix scenery. So I made it's summer there, but I made it late afternoon. It's like 6:30 p.m. there. I mean, it's not really 6:30. It's pitch dark there. But I figured we'll do a daytime flight. So we're gonna come around here. We're gonna make a turn around this way. By the way, behind us, that direction is, well, kind of behind the thing. You'll find it when we're in the air. We're just going to have to wrestle this old World War II era bird. It actually predates World War II. The C-47 wasn't used for, it was used for a lot of purposes, including towing gliders, and carrying paratroopers. It's a major military transformation on D-Day and things like that. All right, see, we're in here. Okay, tune the tower. Request the takeoff. Set your flaps to there. Set positive trim to about 2%. Okay, set trim set to positive trim. Beautiful day for flying. Let's see, we're going to fly from here. We're going to slowly advance our power. I think we're approved. Acknowledge takeoff clearance. You hear the engines building up power. First thing you're going to see is the front's going to come down because the tail comes up. It looks like you're going to crash into the ground, but you're not. It's just the wings getting air under them. But you stay on the ground for a while until we hit our takeoff, which is right around 95, right around there. And voila, we're flying. All right, so if we're gonna put our start sucking in those, it takes a while. So we're gonna bring it. You'll see this, it kind of cranks in those the landing gear, and just cranks them to there. Really simple, reliable way of doing things. And there in front of us is Table Mountain. And it definitely looks like a table from this side, not from every side. We're gonna follow the road. Okay, so this is Easter Plateau. Now Mistress Moore lives back there. I really would like to visit Cape Town, but it's such a long way. It wouldn't necessarily be an expensive trip though, but it would certainly be a long one. Because once you're there, it's not that cheap. It's not that expensive to visit. All right, so we're gonna reduce power. We're gonna reduce. We want to fly nice and low and efficiently. We're not going to need this anymore. But look how gorgeous it is. Well, it gets really pretty because we have this whole expansion pack. Get back to 0 trim, reduce power a little bit more. About 145 knots is a nice speed. It's not an expansion pack, it's a scenery pack. But it definitely improves the fidelity of all the buildings. And they look great at night, too. We'll have a good day back at work. I'm heading back to work tomorrow. But we got the port here with all different kinds of tankers and fishing and other kinds of cargo vessels here. And kind of the main drag is kind of in the middle, kind of splits it, but it definitely shows some of the newer buildings. Now this is much smoother than 2024 was, much smoother. And you can see that's kind of the main. There's like this plaza there. You see, there's the Samsung building, the ABSA building, and pretty modern looking. Yeah. There you go. And you can see there's multiple ways to get up to the top of Table Mountain, which is up there. But we're gonna fly around a bit. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that when we tried this in 2024, and I kind of was not surprised. Just flying around this area caused my frame rate to go down to like maybe 4 or 5 frames per second tops. And I'm gonna try it again, but I didn't seem to really lose any frames. Let's just see what is it. Alt R? Yeah. Let's see if my NVIDIA report is reporting anything. Yeah, I'm getting like 134 frames per second now. 136 frames per second. And it's kind of maximizing use of the GPU. I just don't want to smash too hard into these buildings. But yeah, we're still getting 124 frames per second. It's wildly better. Now they're going to have a new sim update. I don't really want to keep this up. For 2024 next week, the sim update 4. And they have always been improving memory management and frame rates. So we'll see. But I can tell you, yes. I mean, we have a VOD where we went here in 2024. And there's like an amusement park down there, and there's a stadium here, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're gonna fly up Table Mountain. Let's get a little power here. Beautiful stadium right there, where the local Cape Townians play their soccer game. Anyway, we're gonna go up here. See, there's that little peak there. But yeah, much smoother experience in 2020. I mean, these outlying areas only look okay. It's really the downtown and a few of these areas. There's like a cool school on the back of Table Mountain. We'll fly around it. But I want to see there's this kind of cool peak here. It's like a volcanic peak here. And these people are definitely living the beach life. So there's quite a few, like, independent municipalities. Where you're from Cape Town, but you're technically in some little community that's not called Cape Town. And I believe like this is one of them here. But yeah, these guys get the sunset. All right, let's see if we can get over this mountain hill here and check out the top of Table Mountain. So yeah, Mistress Maud went up to the Table Mountain with some of her friends for her I guess kind of for her birthday or for Adria's birthday, and took pictures from the tippy top. Looks like there's a crisscrossy path to get up here. I'm sure you have another great view. Let's see, what's our speed? All right, one more power here. We're stalling out. Oh yeah, I still have my booster pumps on, right? Yeah, I'm gonna need those. But yeah, that's what that looks like from close up. Now we're getting high up already. I mean, we're getting altitude slowly but surely. We're about 1,000 feet per minute is about the most we're going to do in this plane, I think. But yeah, you can see there's all these little, switchback paths up these mountains here. And that's another community. There's another community there, and then this is Cape Town, really, kind of the central Cape Town here. And it's all overlooked by Table Mountain. Table Mountain only looks like a table from this one direction. From the backside, it's quite irregular. I don't think we're going to get up there. We are starting to. All right, is that about all we got? Oh. Yeah, we're starting to want to. Ooh, I think we're stalling out. We stalled out. That's fine. We can plenty of altitude. But yeah, I'm sure this plane can figure out how to get up there. Just need to be careful about stalling. We'll get up there. We'll just have to circle around. We got a full juice now. We got plenty of fuel too. We're kind of heavy on fuel. Could lighten up a bit. Probably make it a little easier to get up there. But we're gonna, once we get up to the top of Tail Mountain, we're gonna swoop down. Then we're gonna head north, and we'll fly over the neighborhood that Siobhan lives in, that Mistress Moore lives in. We're gonna come up here again. There's a couple ways to get up. There's hiking effectively, which would be all day, I imagine, or a lot more than that. There's like these. There's driving. There's a road. But the quick way is a cable car, which leaves from there. You still have to drive to there and then goes all the way up to the top. I'm not sure that's the quick way. It's certainly not the cheap way, I'm sure, because they charge you. And then you can see, boy, Cape Town goes far in all directions because it's the biggest city in the Western Cape, Western South Africa. But here's kind of the flat part. Okay, we've definitely got the altitude now. We're just flying into the sun, so it's kind of hard to see. Very dramatic. And suddenly we're like skimming the earth here. But see, yeah, that side is very irregular. It doesn't look like a table. But they have some artificial reservoirs there. But this whole area part here is totally flat. Now we got plenty of altitude now. Reducing power. Yeah, so they took pictures from here, which is that's the cable car terminus right there. There's not a lot up there. It kind of goes down. You can't really see. There's no actual cable car. You can see a cable car peeking out there. But it doesn't actually, unlike the ones in Switzerland which operate, it doesn't actually go anywhere. But it's pretty steep, and then that's the terminus down there. Okay. All right, so where they live is up the coast, which is kind of where a lot of, the suburban elite live. I mean, there's definitely people who want to live on this hillside here because they're right above the city. But plenty of people don't really feel the need to live that close to the city. Oh yeah, and there's I wanted to go over here actually. There's like this kind of school over here. We're gonna go through this little saddle here. It's right on the other side of Tail Mountain, the east side. You can see that it's really gonna block out the sun here. Beautiful day. Again, I'd spend more time in the cockpit, but we don't have a lot of windows. It's not really much of a sightseeing plane. The windows we do have are kind of dirty and nasty. Yeah, so the school I was thinking of is right here. It's on the other side. We're going to kind of do a dive bomb here. Did I remember to put my, I didn't. Okay, there's a bit of a, sometimes that happens where we have a garbage bin. That wasn't too bad, really. I want these on trail. That means they're on automatic. Oops. I didn't notice that I was about to stall out here. There's this school here, and they're kind of doing some construction. And they got a stadium. It's right here, this kind of where I'm looking at here. And that's part of the Orbix expansion as well. They have like 2 stadiums. I think there's a hospital around there. Oh yeah, up there. It's kind of on the side of the hill. A little tricky to get to. Anyway, I'm still not in the north part, which is where they are. But we'll fly up there right now. I just want to see kind of the major stuff that you can see in the Orbix expansion. This here, it's like a major, I think, a school on the side of the hill. It's going to be beautiful. Like a medical, or is it a hospital, a medical college? I'm not sure. Something like that. Very modern and cool looking. All those buildings. Or you won't see them in the regular game unless you purchase the Orbix Cape Town expansion. All right, we're going to head north, and generally fly over where they live, which is kind of up here, and you'll see in a second. And there's some other nice, I don't know if they're industrial buildings or school. There's a golf course, very nice looking golf course over there. There's some industrial buildings here. Yeah, now this is where we took off from the Easter Platte Air Base, which apparently is not used anymore. Although you'd think it would be prime real estate, they'd tear it up and use it for something else. It's right here. Especially, you know, pretty nice access to the water, to the ocean. So that's where we took off from, but we're not landing there. Actually, we might land there. There's another plane I want to take with. Right, so if you take this road here up to the north, kind of north and northeast. So up in these, you know, well, up ahead in these hills is where they live. Okay, there's a nice, there's a kind of a fancy mall here, I think. I think it's a shopping mall. I don't know, maybe not. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a shopping mall with like a moat. Pretty cool. They have some really nice shopping. And like you know, like grocery stores that are very deluxe. I mean, they're not all that way, but they have some. This is a whole warehouse district here. So no, but they're up. Let's see, are they up there or like? I think they're kind of more up here. This is kind of where some of the newer, kind of more modern housing areas are. Or not that far from the actual international airport, which is down there. They get a reasonable amount of plane noise because planes are coming in and approaching over this area here. But I think they live a little further out. I don't know. Maybe up there. I know I've seen these hills in the backside, but I don't know if it's there that they live or up there. Anyway, it's around here somewhere. Let's head up this side. I might add you on Discord. Probably not. But thank you for coming in and saying hi. Thank you. I mean, we have I have done these, man, maybe 500 times or more, and they're all about the same. But it's not a bad stream. All right, and I like to stay low. This is the important thing. I don't fly at high altitude. I like to stay below 1,000 feet. We're at 1,000 feet, just so we can see stuff better. Now, one improvement that has been made from the original is that the nuclear power plant in Cape Town, it's the only nuclear power plant in South Africa. There's only 3 on the entire continent of Africa. Is much better represented in this version, I believe. Let's see, it's on the coast. Anyway, so this area here is what you call high density housing. Okay, so that's, you know what I mean. It's not where Siobhan's gonna be living. But there's lots of little communities here. Yeah, some of these look like they're kind of informal communities. I mean, people just put up a box, call it a house, wherever they feel like it, which happens down there. But most of Cape Town is pretty much just normal neighborhoods. Lots of houses, lots of people live here. Everybody in South Africa wants to live in Cape Town because of the lifestyle. It's more of it's kind of got that California reputation. Like if you like a lot of people live who have like alternative lifestyles of various types are welcome in Cape Town, as opposed to more conservative parts like Johannesburg of South Africa. So you got this whole long sweep of beach here. It seems like if you want to go to the beach, there's plenty of beach. It's not like, you know, the only issue is access. Like, can you park there? But I mean, that is an impressively long strip of beach. I don't know, you know, whether it's all somewhere where you'd want to go in the water for whatever reason. But then here's where I think people are going to want to live. You know, a couple blocks from the beach with a view. You got a view of the water, and then at night, you're going to see Cape Town there lit up in the distance. So kind of think this is where the some of the fancier people live here, and these are relatively newer subdivisions here. We'll head up there. There's kind of you can kind of see a little bit of white. That's past the airstrip. That's the nuclear power plant. We'll just fly over it. It's always fun to check it out. But some versions of, sometimes they don't show what you might call a strategic target in the game as anything but a flat satellite map. Meaning somebody would want to train to fly their plane into a nuclear power plant. Well, you know what I mean? It's going to happen if they want to. They can use Flight Simulator to fly anywhere in the world. I'm not training for nothing. But I do love flying this, and I'm glad we were able to get it started up. All right, so now we're in steady state. We can turn off the booster pumps. Those are really only needed for takeoff, and we'll use a lot less fuel. There is an airstrip. We might want to try landing out there. But we're gonna check out the one and only nuclear power plant. All right, we got people living here on a golf course, which is very kind of California or very modern, I think, idea. But living on the golf course itself, you certainly see that all over the southwest part of America. It's not really, I wouldn't want to say it's not a thing in other parts of America, but it seems pretty common for luxury housing to be located on a golf link. I've never really had the urge to live on a golf course, but I imagine if somebody's into golf, it would be quite the luxury. All right, we're up ahead. We're going to see the nuclear power plant. I said that about 900 times, but that's just because I got to say something. By the way, cheers. I'm enjoying a fine quality Diet Coke today from the house of Diet Coca-Cola. We're using the beautiful blue Bluetooth controller to fly around in. I was noticing there's some people on YouTube who do a lot of hardcore Microsoft Flight Sim, and they have the full AnyBuilds flight deck, basically, with the yoke and the central control thing. And but they still are using the controller. This is more convenient. All right, up ahead is the nuclear power plant. But then we're gonna have to land it somewhere. Okay, we're gonna fly over it. We're gonna pause time. We're gonna jump out. We're gonna see how it's doing. We're gonna enjoy the radioactive enjoyment, and it is operating. See, so a couple times, the first few times I visited here, is years ago, obviously. The first few times I visited here, all these buildings here, which are obviously the containment buildings for the nuclear power plant, were just flat. There was no terrain. You could see that they were there because they were mapped like the satellite, like things like features that are satellite mapped but don't have elevation. But now it looks like an actual building. Looks a lot better, and yeah, I imagine you can't just go on a tour of a nuclear power plant. It's very strategic. It's really cool looking. Now that it has, so I really appreciate visiting here. Now that we can see it in 3 dimensions. And there you go. All right, let's land somewhere. I think there's a little airfield we could land at. All right, back in the plane. Use your magical parachutes to ascend back into the plane. There we go. By the way, how does it look from in here? Right, looking around in there, there's some cargo. There's a bunch of cargo. There's a bunch of cargo. It's a cargo container. All right, let's just fly around some more. All right, what's it look like from here? Here we go. All right, there's the nuclear power plant. Right there. Why are all the cars in the parking lot blue? Anyway, let's. I think there's a little airstrip here. I wonder if we could land on it. The only one way to find out, which is to try to land on it. It says airstrip. It could be a few hundred feet long. There is that airport. It's only 12 miles away. What's this? Yeah, how far is Easterplatte? It's like 14. I don't want to land where we took off from. I think I've landed at that little airport out there before, though. This airstrip, it won't handle anything but the smallest of ultralights. But yeah, so once you get to the nuclear power plant, anything further north is just the bush. But there's some really there's like private game reserves up there and things like that. There's a little city up there, but It's like definitely outlined. That's definitely not Cape Town anymore. But you can see it from here. I mean, it's there. That's Cape Town back that direction. Pretty cool. You know what? This airstrip is pretty long now that I look at it. I think we could land on it. We're gonna try. I mean, it's not long, but it's not super short. And I've been flying this plane a lot. I think I'm starting to get pretty good at what I do. Not a lot, but since yesterday. They updated it, but I don't know whether there was like version notes to indicate. I don't like any of the default pilot views. We're gonna get some separation here. We're a little heavy for landing, but I think we'll be fine. Alright, where's going to separation? Delta 200 airstrip. This is going to be kind of hairy. It's definitely not designed for planes this size. I like it. Alright, let's start moving into a landing configuration. And make a little sharp turn here. It looks like from here. It's a little, you know, not bad though. Alright, we're gonna get in here. We got gear down. We got flaps coming down. Flaps are coming down for landing. Gear is down. Speeds are coming down. Alright, what's it look like from here? I'll lose a little altitude here. Watching speed, we're a little fast. Reduce power. To landing speed. It's gonna be kind of hairy. I like it. We're gonna lose some altitude. What's our speed? It's a good approach speed. 95 is a decent approach speed. Oh, we gotta lose some altitude here, though. Bringing down the power even more. We're at 100. See, it looks like you're really low from here, and then from here you're really high. This is the one you want to trust. Speed. It is a tiny little runway here. Oh. It was lower than I thought. And shut the engines off entirely, apparently. Well, that was a landing. For some reason, I shut the engines off, although I don't think I should have. Maybe I just... Can I restart these engines? I want to see. Let's see, right engine. Right primer. Will it start up again? I'm just curious. It might give a second. There it goes. Okay, it did start up again. Let me restart this engine then. The left engine. Left 1000, 1000. Oh, these should be on though. Starter on. Left primer. Let's start that bad boy. There it goes. It's a weird startup sequence. Does this want to go down here? All right. Yeah, I must have I guess cutting the throttles to actually nothing will shut the engines down, even if the mixture is at full, which it was. I think I'm gonna test that theory in a second, but first I want to get down to where I want to park. The other plane I want to fly real quick, I want to start up. We got plenty of time. I want to start real quick. Is the AE-135. You'll see it's a much smaller plane. We can start off from here. Maybe fly to Cape Town. I just want to check out this little tiny little airfield here. I mean, you'd normally have like much smaller planes like that one there. Which is interesting because this plane is, oh no, I guess it's a normal plane. Okay. All right. I want to try different. That was fun though. I'm not gonna shut down. I want to try a different plane. I'm gonna show you. It's also got updated recently. We're gonna do a quick startup sequence, fly to Cape Town, and then that'll be the flying for today. But I do want to go back to the. I do want to check out the weather at the ranch tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna go back to. All right, we're not gonna start there. We're gonna start where we were, which is this one here, right? Oh yeah, I want to change my plane to this one, which also has been updated. This the Aero Vodocchidi 145. What are the livery choices here? They're all pretty cool. We'll just go with the other alternate blue one. Changing again to the earlier time. And I guess this is a different airport, but it's close enough. And then we'll go south and just check out a little more Cape Town. This is another fun plane to cold start. It's got another interesting story about the cold starting because of the configuration of this engine. It's a piston engine, 4-cylinder piston engine for each of the two. It's got two engines, so one on each wing. Well, let's take a look at it. So take a look outside. You see there's those two piston engines, and you can see most of the engine hangs below the piston. So that means that if you think about a configuration of a piston engine, that means the crankshaft is at the top and the pistons at the bottom, going up and down, and the bottom of the cylinder head is at the bottom. You know, where the spark plugs are is at the bottom. And so this configuration of pistons has the tendency to have something called hydrolock, which is where oil pools at the bottom of the pistons. And if you try to start it without clearing up the oil that might have pooled there, you can really destroy the engine. You really hurt the engine. I'll show you just how we're gonna do that. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the throttle closed and the mixture closed. Let's see, we want to turn this off. Let's see, we got to find the on switch. Let's see, I'll turn that off. Let's see, alternator, yes. Battery, please, thank you. Avionics master, why not? Pitch power, I'm going to turn those on. Beacon lights, absolutely, sure. It's not going to run out of juice here. Don't need landing lights. Okay, now, so the thing we're not going to do, the fuel selector. Okay, that's all good. So the fuel selectors go to off for this, which is we're just going to rev the engines to clear out any oil. First, we're going to get these going here, right? Let's see, are these going to go? There we go. Enter, 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 enter. Oops, enter, enter. Okay, where is the starter? Okay, ignition. Right, ignition off. And magnetos off. So what we're going to do is with the magnetos off and the ignition off, we're going to hit the start. And what it's going to do is it spins the engine a bit, and then it's going to come to a stop. And that's going to clear out the oil. We're going to do the same thing on the right engine. Clears out any oil. Now, there wouldn't be any smoke because we didn't turn any fuel on. We didn't turn the ignition on. But that's the thing. Okay, so now that we've cleared out the oil, we're going to set the magnetos on, turn the ignition on, go back to our fuel management, turn your fuel on, mixture up to full, and crack the throttle. This time when we start the engines, it should catch. We'll find out. See if it's stable here. And yeah, it's stable there. You can hear that little knocking sound. That's a good sound. That's fine. All right, right engine. Also going to start a lot of smoke. Smoky plane. I love it, this plane, though. All right. I just have a good time doing that. All right, can we open up the Big Mac window? We could. All right, we're going to open the Big Mac window until we get to... until we get to... we're going to head down... We're just going to land at the Cape Town Airport, the International Airport. It's a big airport. We'll kind of buzz it and check it out. It's not far. It's like 10 miles. All right, which way to go? We want to go south.
Foxtrot Alpha Sierra Papa traffic KNSH 9er taking off runway 11 departure to the south.
We're gonna head out this way to the base of the runway. Let's see, everything here looks good. We just ran into a truck. It's fine. We're gonna reduce this here. Of course, being a tricycle landing gear, you have to be careful on the brakes. You can tip her over. But I do enjoy the realism of of these 4-cylinder where the cylinders on the bottom. You have to be careful. You have to do this kind of startup thing where you empty out the cylinders. I don't think the game implements the damage, the engine damage, but it's something I like to do. So here we go. We're gonna head off and depart south. It is definitely a good. All right, flaps to the mid position, slight positive trim, full mixture, and a stinky little runway here, perfectly sized for us here. Oh yeah, I want to close the Big Mac window. Aim your ass down the runway. Give yourself the full throttle there. Not the most powerful plane in the world. Similar issue, which is, you're going to see kind of the tail will come up on a tail dragger. Then you see, you just want to maintain down there, and then once you get to 100, that kind of speed right there, it's going to come right off. By the way, this plane does have gear that pops in right there. It's coming in, similar to the way the other one did. Kind of cranks in, but at least it has doors. But a much tinier, lighter plane. There we have it. It's a really unusual looking plane too. I mean, I've never seen one in the real world, but I'm sure they exist. All right, so if we flew forward, you'd see where Cape Town is. But we're just going to go check out the international airport. But it, again, involves flying over kind of these northern suburbs of Cape Town, which is, as far as I know, that's the only place that Mistress Mort has ever lived. Different houses, but kind of generally this area north. And again, it's far enough away that things aren't super expensive. It's close enough that you could be in the city in 30 minutes, depending on traffic. And I would say I think that seems kind of far away to me, but I used to live, in Los Angeles, but it would take you 45 minutes to get to Los Angeles, or an hour to get to anywhere. I mean, it's just how it is in big communities. You don't necessarily want to live downtown, and especially Los Angeles. Nobody wants to live downtown. Okay, let's fly around here. I'm a little worried about the fuel load here. Let me just mess with that a little bit here. We really don't need that kind of fuel load. Right, that's all we have to do. Here's this one. Right, perfect. Because we're just going to fly around the airbase. Or not the airbase, the Cape Town Airport, which is there. Cape Town International. But yeah, I mean, there's lots to see in Cape Town. I mean, it's a very vibrant community. There's a lot of food options. There's, not too far, a couple hour drive to the safari. The wildlife reserve. What is this here? Is this like a racetrack of some kind? I feel like this is a race course or something. What you think? Definitely. It's got stadiums, got stands, got several different loops, lots of different courses. Cool. I wonder if they run F1 races there. Like any, like real races. I don't think Cape Town has ever had an F1 race, my feeling, but I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Only the AI would know that. But again, it's the height of summer there. December 20th will be basically the beginning of summer, technically. Being that it's the southern hemisphere, the seasons are reversed. So what you are getting is a warm wind. It's kind of windy, but it's kind of warm. If you like the warm, windy effect, this is the weather for the time of a year for you. I mean, it'd be nice to be a snowbird. You live in the southern hemisphere half the year, and the northern hemisphere the other half. And that's not snowbird, but you know what I'm saying. You're sun worshiper. But you can definitely see the perfectly flat Table Mountain effect from this distance. It's kind of incredible. And from quite an angle, it's still pretty flat. All right, we're almost at the Aeropuerto. We're going to fly around it, buzz around it. We're going to land, and that's going to be it for the flying segment. There's lots more streaming to do. There's going to be the big brain games. I'm looking forward to getting my ass kicked on the trivia quiz. There's going to be a short break, and then I'm very much looking forward to Ken's Christmas Piano Lounge, which sees me bringing the keyboard in, slapping it right down here. What do we got? 6 miles to the 6 miles to the airport. This is what it looks like from here. This is there's two versions of this plane. There's the modern version. By the way, what are these switches here? It's the cabin lighting. Okay. There's the modern version. This is the modern version and a more realistic, an older version. Let's see. Feathers. We don't need those. Pitch presets. What's this? Flaps, lever, ignition, engine covers. Okay, that's for when you're parked. It does have an autopilot with this newer version, but we're not going to need it. I know where we're going. These things here. Emergency gear lever, oil radiator flaps. Should these be open a little bit? I don't know. Check my oil temperatures, which are over there. They're running a little hot. Not too bad, right? Looks like they'll come down a bit. And by that I mean, let's see. These guys down here, temperature, those here, they're in the green. Oil temperature is both in the green. Everything there is in the green. Okay. Fuel, time. It's a pretty cool set of instruments. All right, we're gonna head to the airport. 5 miles away. And we're just gonna have a nice little landing. Again, Cape Town looks good in the game, but I did purchase the Orbix expansion. Something really cool. That's a huge mall there, or whatever it is. It's huge. A school. It's one large enclosed building, so it's either a factory. From the way that parking is arrayed, I think it's a mall. Factories usually don't care about making the parking look good. Yeah. I think they don't live too well. No, I know they live further north from here. We're not that close to them. Cape Town International is one of the biggest airports in Africa, entire continent. It's like the second biggest in South Africa. It's like the third biggest in Africa or something. It's one of those, this in terms of number of flights or passenger miles or whatever. One of the busiest airports on the continent. Which is nice because Mistress Mord could theoretically get a direct flight, from Cape Town to London, to Heathrow. And then from there, you can get an international flight to just about anywhere too. That's So the idea of being able to travel on one flight to London and then being able to get anywhere in Europe or America on one more plane. But typically she has to fly. Last time she flew to Johannesburg anyway, which they also have flights directly to London. And those are 11-hour flights on a 777 or something like that. They're hairy ass flights. I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know. I mean, maybe I could. I guess I gotta bring like a whole bunch of books with me. And movies. And my tablet. But it's got this very nice modern terminal design here, which is well represented in this, at least in this version of the game, I think. Well, we'll see. And we'll check out the terminals, and then we're gonna land. I'm not asking for permission or anything. We're just gonna land. I don't care. I feel like we just took off, but I don't care. I mean, I do care. But it's a beautiful looking terminal. There's the parking structure, and then the terminal itself. So plenty of parking, it looks like. And there's the main terminal here. And then there's a bunch of like little buildings here, little outbuildings. Cargo terminals. This is the radar, the main radar there, but the control tower is over here. I think there's like two. It's like a backup. I guess the main control tower looks pretty good in 2020. 2024 has some issues with level of detail, where sometimes stuff looks bad up close, and these seem to be okay. Everything seems to be solved. Big airport, big beautiful airport. We're landing. We're going to come out in this direction a bit. We're going to come over and land on that runway towards that direction, towards from east to west, or I guess it's north to south. We're heading south, so we're going to south to north. And that's what it looks like. This, at least we have a beautiful sightseeing plane. It's got all these bubble windows. I just can't imagine it's that practical, you know, compared to, you know, single engine or double, the other kind of, the typical design you'd see on a modern plane. But it's kind of simpler design, like a Cessna or something. Or Beechcraft. There's like a park down there. And yeah, it goes off a long way, but that's the other part of the ocean. There's like the ocean's there, and the ocean's there. And then there's a bunch of land over there. But we're not actually at the southernmost tip of Africa. Cape Town, it's near, but it's not there. It's not right there. It takes a while to fly there. And then a lot of South Africa is quite mountainous, like that, like what that looks like over there. All right, we're gonna land here. Oh yeah, we gotta start cranking down the flaps and gear. Here's some gear for you. Slow things down a bit on the power side here. That's what it looks like from here. Got flaps and gear down. We're running a little high, but that's fine. That's about right there. There's a huge long runway for, as I mentioned, 777s and bigger planes. It's our airspeed. We're kind of going fast. A little bit of jerkiness right at the end there. Not a problem. But that airspeed indicator is correctly kind of real. It just gives you a wild estimate of how fast you're going. A little bit of a bump there. What's going on here? Kind of fishtailing. 2020 will do this. See if we can stay on the road here. 2024 does it too, but you definitely get that instability here. Okay, we're gonna check out the airport a little closer up. Or from the ground level, not sort of closer up. Definitely the ground handling is a little tricky in this plane. I think, and just in general, in the flight simulators and this one, a little ground handling issue. Yeah, I mean, lots of books. At least you could bring books on the plane, and they didn't require electric. You didn't have to worry about the charge running out, and you'd be like, "Oh, screwed." But yeah, I figure if you're on a 10-hour flight, you're going to take like 5 movies, and you'll get through 3 or 4 of them, and a couple of books, and that can that can go. But still, 10 hours instead of having to sit in one seat. Again, I am planning on going to Miami with Mistress Mord in 2026, and maybe some of our other friends, which means I might have to get on a flight on Oakland and fly all the way across the country. Oakland to Miami is about 6 hours. Well, it's 5.5 hours heading that way. It's 6 hours coming back because of the jet stream. So I will definitely, but I have a tablet, so I will definitely be downloading. Going to Netflix and downloading. Why are my flaps down? It should be up. And downloading movies. I think I guess 3 movies for a 6-hour flight should be enough. How can I open the? I think you can open the. Right, one of these things opens. I'm not exactly. Gotta figure out. I remember where. Oh, here. Open, close canopy. So the canopy opens, which is kind of cool. Let's shut the engines down here, which I believe we will do by turning the mixture off and fuel selector to off. You heard them go off there. They slowly come to a spin. We can turn off your alternators, battery master, all your lights, beacon lights, nav lights. Just turn all that stuff off. Nice and cold. It's a pretty plane. It's very pretty. Lots of cool details like that. The light in front, I think, or actually, is that a radar unit or a light? It's hard to tell. I think it's a light, but it might be a radar. And because it does have a Garmin, so it must. I know it does have some kind of radar. The antennas at the top, that antenna at the tail. Oh yeah, the thing you can do now is we're going to do this engine cover open, and that opens the engine covers, and you can kind of see a little bit what I was talking about with that. The cylinders, which are air cooled, by the way, there's no radiator, so you can kind of see those fins. The cylinder heads are at the bottom, and the crankshaft is at the top, connected directly to the propeller to variable pitch. And then there's a mechanism to there's the exhaust headers you can see, but it is vulnerable to oil pooling and the cylinder heads at below the pistons. And if you try to start it without clearing any oil, it's called hydrolock. Then you can damage the cranks, your engine cranks, the piston cranks, whatever we call those. Anyway, all right, that was fun. We're gonna do some big brain games. I think it's time for the big brain games. Let me just go into just chatting category. There we go. Not quite yet. Let's try that. Just chatting, maybe. Why not? There we go. Okay. Move here. Gonna do this. Gonna get out of. By the way, tomorrow there'll be more flight simulationing, and it will definitely be number 2024. I mean, there's a couple things I specifically wanted to do in 2020 today, which is running pretty well. And has some advantages, but I'm looking forward to next week. We should be getting the Sim Update 4 for 2024. So I'm kind of looking forward to checking that out. All right, let me get the big brain games set up here. It's on my browser. I get that maximized. Okay, the first game is a warm up. It's the Quirtle. It's a lot like the Wordle, except we're going to solve this. I just want to warm up here. By the way, these brain games are things I do on a daily basis, whether I'm streaming or not. On the days I don't stream, I do them in the mornings. So I might as well make them part of my, brace. Upper left, part of my little streaming routine here. You'll have to watch them on. I hope your doctor's appointment goes okay. I mean, it is what it is. They're all going to be, I don't plan on doing anything exceptionally exciting. Let's see, tomorrow probably will be guitar day, I'm thinking, since I'm going to play Christmas piano lounge today. Let's see what we got here. B, and then there's this is B, and there's an A and an E and an L. What is that? Could it be bagel? B-A-G-E-L. I mean, that fits. Okay, not bad. Yeah, that was no, it's already gone already, but that was, yeah. I get a lot of guitar ads because I shop for guitars randomly. I'm not buying any. I'm not shopping for snow removers or any of this stuff. Schizophrenia pills, but you know what I mean? They show that. But the guitar ones, at least I know, are because, yeah. What do we got here? Let's see. This one on the left, it's got, because it has to be aisle, A-I-S-L-E. Tough word. I mean, not tough, but. And then with last one here, we know there's an L and an N. Oh, and it could be linen. Lenen. All right, this is your warm-up game right here. All right, next game is called. We're going to do a bunch of these, but the next game I like to do is the reveals. It's from the fine folks at Botanical Tome. Okay, today's category is arts and culture. And it's going to be a 2-word result. The answer is in 2 words with an 8-letter word and a 4-letter word. So we know that so far. What else are we going to know? To find out, we're going to read this heavily redacted document. Some items which we might be able to reveal. That's the name of the game, revealed. But maybe, hey, we may not even need it. So let's find out. All right. So in the category for arts and culture, the thing that we're looking for is an blank, 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 in which blank, blank compete for a blank, blank, and a shot at blank and blank. Following its debut on the blank network, blank, blank became one of the most blank, blank in the blank and produced numerous blank. After a blank hiatus, it returned to blank in blank, airing on blank. The blank, original blank, featured co-hosts blank and a blank of blank consisting of former blank, 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 and blank, blank. Sounds like a game show or something. But what? I think it's something game. I'm going to make a guess. Is it the newly wed game? No, it was not. And it's not game. Interesting. Okay. So maybe we might want to do some reveals here. Let me just think about this. Blank, blank, in which blank, blank compete for a blank. Blank and a shot at blank. It's not Survivor. Blank, blank on the blank network. You know, the most blank, blank. We can guess as many times as we're producing. It's not Big Brother. I mean, it's got an 8-letter and a 4-letter word. I want to see what this one is here. Whoops. Television. Blank, blank. Oh, I did the wrong one. This is the one I wanted. Shoot. Singers. So it's American Idol, I think, right? Right, and that's what it's got to be. Okay, I should have been 1, but we got in 2. That's fine. It's effectively a game show. Reality television series, not technically a game show. All right. Other players, I think this means it was considered an easier one of these things, which is fine. Speaking of things that are not going to be easy, let's move on to the nastiest or hardest tightrope trivia quiz of the game. Now, the tightrope trivia is from our fine friends at Britannica.com. By the way, I got a nice little Diet Coke here. It's a timed 9-question multiple choice trivia quiz. I consider myself a certified trivia master. No, they saved the hardest ones for the Sunday quiz. That's today. Let's get started. Oh, it's Tesla. He was really into death rays. Populated for half in the Reykjavik urban area, Iceland. We've flown over Iceland a couple times. It looks great in game. It's a summer kind of thing. Of course, that's the GameStop thing. Yeah, Reddit users mainly did that GameStop pump and dump scheme. Snake is non-venomous, a stinky musk when threatened. He's the cottonmouth. Oof, garter snake. Oh yeah, the cottonmouth is quite venomous. Alrighty. Palanges of seeing stones found in which front? Lord of the Rings. Blah, blah, blah. That was kind of a hard one, the snake one. But so far, these haven't been too bad. This is the hardest of the week. Created for a hole to wet fruit and cooked evenly. The donut? I mean, just a guess, but why not? Seems about when that donut would have been invented. I think this was a Rockwell, Norman Rockwell. He was also quite religious. After becoming famous, Miriam is surrounded by many blank people she couldn't cut. Of these, only unctuous really works in that context. Okay. We'll cross the tightrope today. Lavish gifts to her former lovers. I'm thinking Catherine the Great was known for that. All right. Actually, we did pretty well for a Sunday quiz. Got one wrong, so we're not going to get a clever funambulist, but we should get a walking encyclopedia at the very least. Tightrope boss, walking encyclopedia. Yeah, that's not bad. And the highest rating is clever funambulist, but we're going to go for it. On a Sunday quiz, 2,100 points. Not bad. I like it. All right, there's another game I want to play. It's called Reunion. And then we're going to do the connections as well. So we got a bunch of games to do. And then we're going to do an Octortle. There's plenty of brain games to do. I like this one. It's kind of challenging. It has aspects of a crossword puzzle and one of the 5-letter word games because you got to solve these puzzles by interchanging letters. And you want to do it in as few moves as possible. You can't take back moves. And let's see, we got to, and it's some other rules. But let's see, if it's green, it's in the final position. So those are things, we have 2 words that have 3 in the final position. So what could these words be? It could be, let's see. This word could be steam, right? If there's an E available, but I don't see an extra E available. Right? So it's not steam. So could it be scram? S-C, oh yeah, it could be scram. I bet it's scram. Oh, it wasn't scram. Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. We learned something. This one here is R-O something blank blank E. And it could be rogue. I'm sure it's rogue. It's not rogue. Oh, it could be rouge. All right. Well, we're not going to do very well in today's game, but, you know, it is what it is. It's fun. I have fun anyway. And we are going to finish it. I'm going to finish it anyway. Let's see what we got here. This Y has to be in here. Let's see. I wonder what these are going to be. I'm going to have to take some guesses at some point. This word S blank blank AM. And it could be, let's see. Let's see. There's a limited number of letters we can move into here. Like the I won't go there, or it wouldn't be white. And it can't have 2 A's next to each other. So what could that be? No. That's a tough one. Let's see. Well, I think maybe this A goes there. Okay, that was a lucky guess. So this word is ant. I think it's going to be... Let's see, what could it be? let's leave that for now. I think maybe SPA. Okay, that's also lucky here. And then there has to be SPA something R. In which case, what could that be? Whew. SPACR. Let's see. Sparrow. I think it's got to be 2 R's and the O and the W. Well, eventually we will get there. That's part of the big brain games is they kind of start slow and get a little faster. We're gonna do the connections though. I've been enjoying that a lot. That's definitely one of the harder ones. Let's see. This T has to go on this line somewhere. So I'm thinking this is going to be witty, WITTY, because there's an I that's available, and this Y I think goes here. We're not going to get it in 17 moves, but we will finish it. And then this one here is going to be this R has to go here between the E and the Y, right? Yes. Okay, so that helped. I mean, once it's green, you've made progress. What is this? There's a C available. I think this is going to be OUNT eventually, but I'm not sure about that one. Oh yeah, there is antic available. For some reason, I didn't see that there was a C, but this has to be antic. Okay, we're making progress. We're not getting in 16. We're getting in 19. That's the minimum. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is going to be Sky? Skyam? That's not a word. I don't know what is going on over there. This one is going to be mockery. Okay. So at least we know that. And then how are we going to figure this one out here? Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's see. It's going to be taunt, right? And then yam there. Okay, 20, not great. Technically, I think that is still a 3-star game. No, it's only 2. Wow, that kicked my ass. But hey, it's a big brain game, and they're not always going to be so smooth. Give me a second because I want to get to the Wordle. Excuse me, the connections. This was the Wordle today. Did that earlier. Got it in 3. All right, let's go for the connections. Okay, you get these 4 sets of words and short phrases, and we got to group them into 4s, and it's designed to be tricky. Dovetail is a kind of joint, and so is miter, and so is tongue, and so is dado. These are all types of wood joints, and because I'm 90% sure that's one of them. What? One away? Tongue and groove. Oh, I don't think miter is a joint. Mortise is a joint. Right? Is dado a joint? I'm gonna do a little research here. Dado is not necessarily a joint. Oops. What is a dado? It's a blade, or it is a woodworking joint. Mortise. Is a joint. Dovetail is a joint. And miter is, but I'm not sure if tongue is technically a joint. It's also a woodworking joint. Let's try miter. Okay, thank goodness, because you can't get too many. You only get a certain number of things wrong. So the tongue and groove is a joint, but it wasn't tongue and groove, just tongue. So they see why they're trying to be trapped. Okay, let's see if we can figure something out. Gizzard, barrel, heart, tear, Greco, Dorado, bolt, tongue, passo, hurtle, tripe, capitan. And there's usually wordplay involved. Let's see. Barrel, bolt. The gizzard, the heart, the tripe, and the tongue could all be like organ foods. And I don't see anything else there. Let's try that. Nice. Organ meats. I was correct. We're doing well. All right. It's getting harder though, but we have up to 3 mistakes remaining. But let's see if we can figure this out. Barrel boat, part of a gun, but we don't have anything else. Greco type of wrestling. Dorado and a passo. Capitan is like a mountain or something like that. Maybe it's just cap or tan. Hurtle. Barrel. Dorado. Door. Cap. They get kind of tricky. I like it. What do these... We got to find 4 of these 8 that go together. Shuffle them around. Okay, right. So El Capitan, El Dorado, El Greco, and El Paso. They're all things that go after L. Right, L blank. Now if we can figure this out, tear or tear, barrel, bolt, and hurtle. What? I don't care. Let's see what brings those together. Move at breakneck speed. Barrel, bolt, hurtle, or tear. Fast speeds. Moving at fast speeds. Yeah, that's a hard one. I think that's a hard one. But we only got one wrong out of all those. So I mean, you know, we didn't do a perfect score, which was yesterday. We did perfect. All right, last of the big brain games is going to be an Octurtle. We're going to do the hardest one just to, you know, you got to move along here. Plenty of streaming to do though, because we got the whole musical segment coming up. We're going to do the Daily Rescue. It's the hardest one. It's the one I get the least. Yesterday I did not get it. But there's a lot of luck involved. This one here is interesting. Blank M blank N blank Y. And the only vowel that hasn't been used is A. So M-A-N something Y. I'm thinking it's got to be mangy. Oh, it could have been something else. Oof. Could be manly. M-A-N, right? That's the only other thing could be, I think, right? Okay, good. Well, this is another hard one today. Another tough starter. Let's see how we go here. T-H-U-M as B is available. Let's guess thumb on the lower right here, because we know there's an H, U, and an M, and B is available. All right, so that went well because we got some B's in the results here. So this one here is now spelled out. It has to be bow, B-O-U-G-H, lower left. So at least we got that one for sure. What do we have here? This one here has a Y, but not at the end. It could be Payee, P-A-Y-E-E. We'll come back to that. This one here, though, is biome on the upper left, spelled out for us. Let's just grab that. Up here, this could be G-L-O, and then what? Glove, right? Isn't that the only thing it can be? I'm pretty sure. Come on, there we go. Now we know this starts with G, has a G-U, and the only other thing we knew is has an A and an R in it, right? Right. Okay. Well, it has a G, starts with a G-U. It has an A and an R, and the D is available. It's got to be guard. Okay. Nice. This one here is G-O-O blank E. G-O-O goose. Kind of has to be. Unless goop is a word. Okay, we're moving along. We have one guess left for this last one, and all we know is there's an A and E and a Y. Oh, no. I thought it might be payee, and now I'm pretty sure it's payee. All right, wow, we won a rescue for a change. Oh, my Lord. It's been a few days, I think. I only get about half of these, so, yesterday's I didn't get. But, it's definitely a amount of luck in there. But we won today's rescue. That's a hard one. Try it yourself. I mean, it's free, and you get a new one every single day from the fine folks at Britannica.com. All right, I got to move into the musical category. I mean, I don't got to, but I want to. Because I'm looking forward to we're still practicing up. We're still practicing up on the Christmas tunes. And there'll be 3 or 4 more, I'm sure. Rehearsals for the Ken's Christmas Piano Lounge before the actual Christmas Day and Christmas Eve shows. All right, let's run our mid-roll, and on the other side, it'll be Christmas time, Christmas music time. Hey there, welcome to Ken's Piano Lounge. The Christmas Piano Lounge. What does that mean? I mean, unlike my normal thing, which is I just have a list of songs on a piece of paper. For this one, I'm using the Ultimate Christmas Fake Book. Over 270 songs, 240 of which I have no idea what they are. But there's a bunch of the classic Christmas music here and here, and which I like to do. I don't even think I did this one here. All right, so, but these are the rehearsals because I haven't played these in a year. I do these once a year in December. Let's see if we got everything looking okay. Alrighty here. It's really pretty as a vocal song. This one's similar.
these songs. Mark these with a little check mark if I know them. So just look at my check marks. Here's a couple here. Okay, here we go. Gotta practice this one. Christmas time is here. This is the one I do all year round. Christmas songs coming your way. These are definitely practicing though. Decent allowed to do. favorites. That's a great tune. Here's the other, another God, yes, Dream Mary, gentlemen. One more time. Much more songs I like to do. Good King was the sauce. Just gotta go through them all pages. We'll get to the next one before you know it. Anything. Here we go. Actually, quite a few more to do. Do. Gotta get jazzy with some of these tunes, if possible. wonderful day. Yeah. I already know that. These ones. Yeah. For some reason, it's my favorite to do. Gotta work on that. It has to be smooth by Christmas. All right, we'll work on it. or these old ones. One more time. Couple more to do and they're done. For today, at least. Gotta price out. I'm gonna practice that one. Getting a little better each time. Hopefully by Christmas, get them a little smoother. But it's just gonna be these songs. Silent Night. Let's use these silver bells. Silver bells. Getting near the end of the book. No, there's a couple more random things in here. Near to end. But that's about it. 12 Days of Christmas. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do 12. It's getting low. We're getting late on the stream. Doing Wish You a Merry Christmas. Got to do that one, though. What is that thing? Let me try this again. Close enough. That's it, though. Oh no, We Three Kings. Gotta do We Three Kings. My favorites. that's it though, or it's at the end of the show, end of the thing. Sometimes I go from W to A, but no, that's perfect. Perfecto. Take these off for a second. Everybody, thanks for coming by the show. Everybody who came by said hi. Thank you, appreciate it. I had a great time. We flew around some random places. We went to Cape Town, and a couple different random planes. That was 2020. We'll fly in 2024 tomorrow for sure. Maybe we'll check out, see how the winter weather is affecting my ranch. Haven't been there in a while. Well, I was there a couple weeks ago. Yeah, nice time. It'll be guitar day, some kind of guitar day. We'll be playing the Rocksmith bass again in rotation. So guitar, Rocksmith bass, and then Ken's piano, the Christmas Piano Lounge until Christmas, and then I'll be back to the regular Piano Lounge. But yeah, I'm having a good time playing the bass. It's always a fun vibe. Yeah, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Thanks again. A little outro here goes like this. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Bye, everyone.